Welcome back to the channel. So I didn't want to buy any more knackered cars. Unfortunately, this one come up really cheap, 400 quid, BMW E90 320 diesel. And I need a cheap car, and I reckon I could double my money on this in a couple of days. So I'm back making another video. So I'm gonna get this one fixed. It's got a few faults to do, and then get it up for sale or either use it. So yeah, if you like what you see, subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Let's get into it. So this is what my hard-earned 400 quid got me. An absolutely battered 320D. First impressions of this car, it looks really rough. Probably better go into the crusher. So in the boot is where the first two problems lie. Apparently it's a common fault on these E90s that the rear strut goes through the arch and then it goes through the wiring. So as you can see there, the shocks come through, and now I've got damaged wiring that I'm going to have to try and solder back together. So hopefully it's not too bad doing that one. Overall, the car looks like it's been used and abused for a long time, and not much money put back into it, repairing and sorting things out. I'm hoping with the bodywork, good polish up, and a nice clean set of wheels, it'll look much different. Inside, we've actually got some good leather seats. I reckon they'll clean up quite nicely, but it's full of junk at the moment. I think a family owned it, lots of wrappers, McDonald's in there, and yeah, it just needs a good clean through. So one thing this car has got going for it is that it's an 09 plate, which means it's a facelift model, and apparently that means it's an LCI model. That means it comes with a few better things like upgraded tech, better headlights, better bumpers, wing mirrors, and apparently the map on the engine's better, so you get a little bit more power. So inside the bonnet is where the third and final problem lies. So if you noticed earlier, there was a fan belt or auxiliary belt on the seat. I don't know why it's in there, so I'm gonna have a look through and see what's going on here. So the crank pulley looks like it's got missing parts. It looks like the rubber's come away from the centre there. With any luck, it might just be a new crank pulley, put the belt back on, and then we're getting power again. So fingers crossed, that's all it needs. If so, we could be on to a winner. Before I do anything else though, I need to get this thing slightly cleaned up. Jet wash the outside of it and get rid of the wrappers from inside. First things first, I've got to put a bit of life back into this battery. The car's been sat about a month and it's completely dead. If any of you guys have ever tried these chargers, they're absolutely brilliant. They bring the old batteries back to life, and most of the time they're usable again. The saying is you can't polish a turd, but here I am giving it a bloody good go. Anyway, let's get him in the workshop and let's do the mechanical stuff. The first job was to tackle the old crank pulley. This is fitted with e-torque bolts, so I'm hoping they come out easily with the gun. Luckily for me, they did. These are usually torqued up to 420 newton meters, so if they don't come off with a gun, you've got to lock the flywheel, and that's a bigger job. Luckily, they've all come out well, so now I can pull off that wheel and get ready to replace it with a new one. A new crank pulley from BMW will cost you around £170. As that's about half as much as my car, I bought one off eBay for 65 quid. So it'll probably fly off in about 2 months, but until then, sweet as. Refitting the crank pulley isn't too bad of a job at all. As long as you can view where the bolts line up, it's pretty good. With the crank pulley refitted, I put the belt back on, and eventually I realised the belt had to go under the roller instead of over the top, and that would give me the proper tension. With the belt refitted, the car finally had power, so I could move on to the next two faults. So what you're looking at here is the washer that should sit against the car body. This washer makes sure the rod only travels so far before stopping. So once these get old and rot out, what happens is that rod will shoot right up through, and then as you can see, it's hit my electrics and caused loads of damage in there. This is my lovely new kit that I bought. It cost the whole £15 including delivery, and you got both sides for that. So I figure if one side is gone, the other side's probably not too far behind. So it's best to replace them both at the same time. It looks like kind of a bit of a jigsaw puzzle, but yeah, hopefully it's not too bad to do. Awesome. So it turns out I can't work and record at the same time. But yeah, this is the parts going together. Once you have all the parts assembled, you can push the rod up through the hole and fit the nut onto the top. If you can't catch the thread on the top of the strut, I recommend putting a jack under the lower arm and pumping it up a little bit. That'll give you a little bit extra where you can just catch the thread with the nut, and it fits quite nicely. The last fix is to solder these wires back together. So to do that, you've got to clamber in the boot, get all your gear in there, and you're pretty much upside down doing it. My only real worry is that the boot's going to come down and I'm going to be stuck in here and get found about a week later. So this is my first attempt at soldering. It didn't really go too well. Well, actually it got better as it went. But the lower one's my first attempt. I just chucked on that solder, and eventually it looked a bit neater as I progressed a bit. On the joints where I'd soldered, I used some electrical tape to make sure there's no wires that were left exposed. Let's go have a look at my finished job in here. Beautiful, that. Absolutely beautiful. So with all the fixes done, it's finally time to get this thing out on the road. Despite appearances, this car drives really, really well. However, we do have ABS lights on. Apparently it's from the rear. The ABS rings on the drive shaft are known for rusting up and then giving a faulty reading. So for once, the mechanical work's actually gone to plan. The car's running sweet. I've just took it out for a test drive and the car is going really, really well. I've done about 20 miles. So far, no issues other than an ABS light, which is for the back rear. So I think maybe a sensor needs cleaning, but other than that, sweet as. With the mechanical work done, it was time to get this thing cleaned up and put it for sale. The cream interior got hit with leather cleaner, and then I used a magic sponge to get all the dirt and the grease out of that material. The manky-old interior went from looking a bit like this to yeah, looking much better. The cream leather come up really, really well, and the dash, the back seats and everything, no damage to any of it. It come up really, really good. That's something I'd be happy to be driving about. For the paintwork, I used some 3M cutting paste. I put a line there so you can see the difference. Over the years, the paint's just faded a little bit, and I'm thinking this is going to bring it back to life. So hopefully it'll all look as good as that section, and I've got a lovely polished up car. So on a trip to a local scrapyard, I found a set of these split rims from I think they're from a Z4, but they were on a 1 Series at the time. I'm reckoning they'll make the car look a lot tidier. So to get these wheels to fit, you need wheel spacers. I've put 20 on the back and 15 on the front. However though, I'm really not too happy with these wheels. These are 18s, but I think they look too small for the car. I just don't think they look right. What do you guys think? In the end, I decided against the wheels, so I'm going to take the old ones off, refurb them in black, and I reckon they look better than the wheels I just bought. I didn't want to break the budget on this car, so I'm using a rattle can. As I'd already bought the spacers, I'm going to fit them, and yeah, let's see if it makes any difference to it at all. So with the wheels painted and the car polished up, this is the final product. It is looking much better than it was. It's running really well, and yeah, I'd be happy to drive that myself, I reckon. It needs a few finishing touches, but I reckon I could put this up for 1,200 quid and it would sell within a day or two. The E90 is not a bad family car at all. It looks pretty good. I still think a nice set of like 19-inch alloy wheels, this thing would look really, really good. What do you reckon to the wheel spaces, guys? Does it make any difference at all? Probably not. So, more importantly, have I made any money on this car? So did I actually make any money on this car? Well, this time I definitely made some money. So I paid 400 quid for the car initially. In parts, I bought a crank pulley for 65, I bought suspension components, 15 quid, and paint. That comes to about 100 quid for all of that lot. And then also I bought wheel spacers for 50 quid. So total spending on parts, 150 quid, taking the whole spend to 550 pound. Looking on Marketplace at the moment, there's similar cars, similar mileage, they're going for about 2 grand. So mine is a bit tatty, it's got the ABS fault, so I reckon I could probably get 1,100-1,200 quid. So worst case scenario, I've got 1,100 pound, I would have doubled my money on that car, so I'm well chuffed for that. My next car, I'm looking to get a fast forward. So if anyone's got like an old project they want to sort of get rid of, give us a shout, I might be interested. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. Please hit subscribe.